Well, obviously, just want to thank Delmar. Just met him for the amazing gift. Means a lot. So many just amazing Lobo fans who it's just a different type of fans are everywhere, but you can just tell how much this team means to the community. And very, very appreciative of the love and the experience that our players and our staff get. It's really, really special. So very grateful. We talked about points off of turnovers and offensive rebounds. Gave up 1 point off of offensive rebounds. We gave up 1 point off of points off of turnovers. So just phenomenal. We had to beat them at their own game. And that's saying that with the utmost respect because they're so tough physically. And our guys just did an amazing job of showing that toughness. So phenomenal win. Amazing crowd on national TV. It's just, I'm so proud of the impact that this team has had on this community, Albuquerque, and obviously nationally for the state of New Mexico. So very grateful.
On the one hand, they were obviously trying to keep Donovan from beating them, and he ends up with 16 and 5 and 3 steals. So he still ended up as the leading scorer and with his stats. But you talked a lot about the others having to step up because you knew they were going to try and take Donovan out of it. You did get that step up from a lot of other players. What was the key to getting them involved?
Yeah, I think offensively we were terrific, even though only shooting 36%. They were fouling a lot, should have made more free throws, but we were very, very willing to stick to the offensive game plan, which was they were going to sit in the gaps, punch the gap, pass it. And guys made really, really good plays. So, I thought offensively didn't turn the ball over. When you turn the ball over with those guys, they get out on the break, and they're so athletic. So offensively, we played a very, very smart game.
You get a double-double and 3 block shots from a guy we were just asking you about yesterday. Why did he cut Mustafa Mzil after Tuesday night's performance? And he has a double-double and kind of brushed off Tuesday pretty well. Was there anything you ended up saying to him?
No, I mean, it's a consistent approach every single day. There's no, any given Sunday rah-rah speech. Like, we don't listen to Twitter mentions. We don't. I mean, it's just, and it's not our fans. It's everywhere. It's insane. So you can't live in that world. He didn't make shots versus Wyoming. Big deal. He's had an amazing year so far and loved what he gave us. So, stop bringing up Twitter mentions to me because I just don't live in that world. And it just doesn't affect me. And I try very hard for it to not affect my players. So no big speech. Stay confident. Put in the work. Stay confident. Put in the work. That's where you get your confidence from. And Stoff does that.
Coach, are we ever going to see Nelly? And it's not joking. Well, can you just talk about right off the bat, the energy you guys had? I mean, the disruption you guys caused, hit some big shots. Just how happy were you with that?
Yeah, I mean, start was great. To go in the locker room up 10 versus a really good team like that was terrific. But a lot of it was just winning ugly, defending, rebounding, turning them over. I mean, to hold San Diego State to 3 offensive rebounds, we had 18 offensive rebounds, they had 3. And they're tough and they're physical. And we were certainly very tough and physical as well.
For sure. And just the overall flow of this team. I mean, how happy are you with what you're seeing, the togetherness? And
winning always helps. I think we've won, 7 in a row. Obviously 6-0. So happy today, but we're going to get back to work tomorrow. That's the bottom line. I mean, it's anybody can beat anybody. And obviously when we played San Jose last time, it was a close game. So enjoy winning. Move on tomorrow.
You mentioned the great start. What do you think enabled that today?
National TV, amazing fan base. Our guys are ready to go. If you're not ready to go in this type of environment, there's something wrong with you, and our guys were. So just played hard. Knew that they had to defend and rebound to win the game because offense was going to be hard to come by.
Coach, those stats you mentioned are gritty kind of stats. I mean, is that something you can hang your hat on? Offensive rebounds, turnovers, those kind of things?
I hope so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what San Diego State's done for so long, and they've obviously won a lot of games. So the offense is not always going to be there. You got to get fouled. You got offensive rebound. You got to take care of the basketball. So we did that. It wasn't going to be a masterpiece, and that's fine. To me, it was a beautiful win.
Coach, 18 offensive rebounds, 4 from Nelly, 4 from Mustafa, 2 from Phillip. San Diego State's a team that switches everything, so it created some mismatches and opportunities for offensive rebounds on the weak side. Was that something you talked about to your team winning?
Wow, a real basketball mind for a change. Yes, we did. We did talk about it. They were switching, and we felt like that would be an advantage, and our guys really took advantage of it.
You know, Coach Tru Washington is struggling against Wyoming. Before the season started, you had mentioned him as maybe a potential defensive player of the year in the Mountain West Conference. He got going today. How important was that, and how important was his defense?
Yeah, he was phenomenal. The free throw shooting was the only thing that was bad. We always do a recap when we play a team. If the coach is back, there's new coaches and stuff, we won't do it. But we showed kind of a recap of the last 3 games from last year, and Jalen House was unbelievable. And I said to the guys before the game, who's going to be the next Jalen House from an energy standpoint? Not scoring, but defense, steals, deflections, rebounds. And Tru was that. So we had a good meeting, because he didn't play well versus Wyoming. Watched a lot of his misses. Thought he was way better there, and took to coaching.
Tru had a little throwaway comment right before I walked out of here. He said that you guys are going to treat this as a loss. And maybe is that like a team-wide thing? Do you tell these guys like?
Yeah, I mean, we always want to approach everything, whether it's criticism or praise, the same. And here, because our fan support is so amazing, when you win, you get a lot of love. It's really irrelevant. We appreciate it. I don't want to sound like I don't appreciate it. It's great. But at the end of March, we'll decide whether this is a great season or not. So normally, human nature, when people are feeding you all this great positive stuff, you're not on edge as much. So I always tell the staff that, like, come into work tomorrow like we just lost. Be starving for this. So that's really cool to hear.
San Diego State 20 points at halftime. The other day, you guys had 18 at halftime. It seemed like the world was caving in on itself. Is this a better defensive team? Or, look, you mentioned how the perception is maybe you guys, everyone thinks this is an up-tempo, run-fast team, but you guys proved that maybe this is a pretty good defensive team.
Yeah, I mean, we've been really, really good since post New Mexico State. VCU, 2 wins on the road, back here. We have realized that it does not need to be pretty. Yeah, we want to run. We had some what we call touchdowns, where if you score on us, we want to try to score in 6 seconds or left. Donnie had a couple, which were really good. We want to have that threat in there. But yeah, I mean, I just thought it was a gritty, tough win. It's what San Diego State has done for so long, and we certainly did it.
Coach, 51 rebounds versus their 35 total rebounds. Comments on that?
Toughness, just will, grit, just finding a way. And, I think you saw why I wanted to get bigger on the perimeter. Phillips really been terrific as well. So those 3 kind of tallest guys, 9, 11, 9 rebounds, very, very good.
I kind of asked about the other stepping up earlier, and you did knock out some shots, but there was also 2 stretches, one in the first half and one in the second half, where Donnie was on the bench, and you guys extended the lead with guys like Cade in there and Jovan. Your bench only scored 9, and the bench actually hasn't been putting up a lot of points lately, but you've been getting key minutes from your bench.
Yeah, I think it was a 9 or 10 point game, and we extended it to 15. Donnie never wants to come out. Donnie, he thinks he's like Bill Russell. He thinks he's player coach. He wants to walk the sidelines, play 40 minutes. Anytime I take him out, he always argues with me. So I had to yell at him to sit down. But I thought that rest was huge. And like I said, I think it was 9. They extended it to 15. I thought Atiki was great. I told him after the game, Wyoming, I said, I didn't bring you here to play 1 minute, but you got to be better. And he owned it, and he was really good today.
You going to go have a drink with Raftery?
I'm assuming he's leaving, but I'm going to have a couple of drinks for sure.
Been in these games with San Diego State before. What was, if anything, what was different today that got you guys going early?
It started today in shoot around. I think we won the shoot around today. Came in with a purpose. We was just trying to get the win.
You guys didn't come out early against Wyoming on Tuesday. You guys came out pretty quick today. Was there anything different about the start and how you guys started?
We just came out with a purpose. I know it starts with practice, like I said. So after Wyoming, we came in, had 2 back-to-back good practices, good shoot around, and it just led to the game today.
All right, they're a team that's top 10 in the country defensively, elite defense, and earn and deserve all the credit they get for their defense. But you're a defensive guy on the team that doesn't get talked about for defense very much. The Lobos, I mean. Do you take that as a challenge as a defensive guy to sort of show that you guys can play some defense too?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I just feel like my best games come from me from defense first. I don't start on offense. I think my game comes from defense, and defenses lead to offense.
I mean, you could tell they were determined to not have Donnie beat them. And so Coach even mentioned that. He said someone else on this team's going to have to step forward and make a big shot. Your 2 threes right off the bat. I mean, you had to have been feeling it after doing all that.
Yeah, I just came to the game focused, ready to play. That was it.
As far as, like, I hate to include you in the supporting cast because it kind of diminishes your role in the team, but you actually played pretty well today. Hey, considering some of the, even people are just kind of disparaging this team a little bit, saying it's all about Dent, it's all about Nelly. Did you kind of take that personally, maybe click into a different gear?
Nah, I mean, Dent's a great guard. Nelly's great. I mean, teams are focused on them, so it's time for like me, Phil, BA, and CJ come in and do damage as well.
True. Was there just a point in the game where you kind of saw them just put their heads down, where you kind of broke their will? Do you think you kind of had the edge at any point?
Yeah. When we first came out after my 2 threes, I felt like it was over for them.
I love it. Just kind of talk about just when you guys are in the zone. I mean, how much you guys click, and I know you guys started fast, but was it just one of those things where you were just flowing today?
Yeah, I mean, we just came out flowing. I mean, I think my defense had a big part of it. I picked up early, and my team just fed off my energy, and we got the dub.
Do you think there was something to the stakes of this game? I mean, the opponent, the national TV game, that kind of helped that hot start, you guys knowing what's coming?
Yeah, always a sold-out crowd is always going to get us up. I mean, the fans here is great. We feed off their energy, so that helped us out a lot.
True, you talked about how your defense for you is where you get started. You're the point of attack defender. You guys, as a team, held them to under 35% shooting. Talk about the mentality of being able to pick up full court and be the head of the snake on defense.
That's just my game. My game comes from defense, so I know if their point guard is quiet today, they're going to have to play with somebody else they're usually not comfortable playing with. Take the point guard out the game and make them play through someone else.
Two specialty stats: second chance points 14-1, and fast break points 13-2. Go points off turnovers too was 9-1. You guys beat them pretty convincingly on every one of those kind of hustle stats. Is that something coming into this game that you guys were focused on for yourself? But that's a team that actually has been doing that a lot. They've scored a lot of points off turnovers. So I'm curious, those kind of stats. When you came into this game, what was the mindset on some of those?
We knew they were offense. We knew they were good at offensive rebounding. We knew they create turnovers, but we just try to limit those. And I think we out-rebound them. So that was good on our end.
All right, 6-0 in conference play. 5-0 is the best New Mexico's ever been in Mountain West play. So you guys extended that today. What's the mindset now about this? A lot of conversation about Utah State and San Diego State, even though they had a loss, they now have 2. I mean, at some point, people are going to have to consider New Mexico as much a league favorite as anybody, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Is that something you guys talk about in the locker room?
I mean, we got the win today, but we're going to treat it like a loss, get back to practice, and just keep grinding.
Yes. Yeah, true. What do you attribute to the bench coming? It seems like the bench is really stepping up on this team.
Yeah, the bench is. I feel like they don't look at our bench. Our bench come in and everybody gets 2 or 3 buckets here and there, so that help us out a lot.